I'm now joined by Tom Gallichio. Tom's coming off a win over the weekend on Friday night Access TV fights MFC 39 against Kurt Southern. In a fight that was supposed to be for the lightweight title, it was decided after the weigh-ins that if Kurt won, he would be champion. If Tom won, he wouldn't. So we'll go into more detail on that in a little bit. But first of all, Tom, thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on a win over a very tough Kurt Southern.
Yes, very tough Kirk Southern.
So let's talk a little bit about the fight first, and we'll go into detail and explain what happened around the lightweight bout and why you're not the official champion. So
Right.
the first round started. Kurt started very strongly, and he looked like he had the better of you in the first round. How did you feel at the end of the first round? How did you feel the first round had gone?
I knew he won the round. It was a lot closer than the analysts and the commentators said it was. But I knew he won the first round. It was close. But I kind of also knew where I was at, too. I gained my confidence back. I had a little bit of ring rust going in. But, I felt him out and, assessed the situation, and cool heads prevailed. I kept it calm and didn't panic too much about it.
So what did your corner say to you at the end of the first round, and what did you do differently in the second round?
My corner said, basically told me to turn it up, and I did.
And obviously you put the pressure on, and of course you won with a rear naked choke towards the end of round two, and it was a clear victory, of course, for you. Now let's talk a little bit about the issue around the lightweight title. Then you were fighting Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Now, depending on where you fight, it's governed by a different sports athletic, and they decide I suppose slightly different rules. Now, in most cases, if you miss weight, you're given 2 hours to cut down the weight. Now, you weighed in at 155.2 pounds, so you missed weight by literally 0.2 of a pound. But explain to us what happened and why you weren't given the 2 hours.
That's just what the commission does. They said people take advantage of that rule and come in a few pounds overweight to get those extra 2 hours. I needed basically 5 minutes extra. It's a lot of it was miscalculation, and I'll take full responsibility for it.
It does seem a little bit harsh though, because we've seen, I mean, obviously, again, if it wasn't a title fight, you're given a pound leeway anyway. Of course, with it being a title fight, you're not given that leeway. But I mean, if you were a couple of pounds over, I can understand why there'd be a little bit of a fuss, and maybe sometimes they say as well it's not safe for you to cut down too much. But it was literally a fraction, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't £2, it was 0.2 pound. It was less than a quarter of a pound. You'd think common sense really should have prevailed.
Yeah. Personally, I think you're right on that situation, and it sucks for me. It sucks that I don't have the title around my waist right now as we're talking. But I got a very hard-fought win against a very good fighter. So, I mean, that's really all that really matters in the end. Sure, it'd be nice to have a nice material object to show and be the MFC champion. That's a hell of a thing to put on your resume, And I can't put that on my resume until 3.5 months from now. And it sucks. It's straight up.
So what was MFC's and Mark Pavlich's reaction to the whole situation?
Oh, man. Mark Pavlich was furious. The MFC hated me for it. Hated me. I can't stress that enough. But you saw a real desperate man on that scale. I didn't even get to check my weight. I was literally pulled from what was left of the sauna to the scale. I actually got pulled off the toilet because I went in the toilet, tried to squeeze whatever I could out. I didn't know if I was over or not. It was just a guess because time was up. So got on scale with 155.2, and it was teetering between point 0 and point 2. I was trying to blow every way of the breath out of my lungs, so I was shaking. Not to mention I was just had an excruciating cut. So I was shaking and blowing every breath of air I could. It was teetering, so they made me step off, and because I couldn't stand still, blowing all the air out, I felt sweat under my armpits. I ripped the hair out from under my armpits without hesitation. It didn't even hurt. You just saw a desperate man up there, naked. And then I hopped on the scale again, and I didn't make the weight. And he was mad because I kind of made a spectacle. I was sitting on the stage, ripped my armpit hair out. I worked my ass off for that, and it just, to watch that get taken from me it hurt. It sucked.
How's he been with you since?
But the only person I could blame is myself.
Yeah. Has he been all right with you since? Have you spoke to him since the event, or has it just been left for now?
Not really. I spoke to him a little bit, not since the event. He said a few things to me at the press conference about me being incredibly hairy.
So you mentioned now then you
look and that the MFC is actually going to pay for my waxing when I land in Edmonton next fight. You heard it here first. The MFC is going to pay for my waxing. Mark Pavlich said it. That's his word.
Oh, gosh. So now you mentioned now then you're going to be back in there 3.5 months. Do you know who your opponent's going to be? Who you're going to be fighting for against the title? Or has that not been decided yet?
No, that's decided. It's Kurt Southern.
Oh, so it's going to be a rematch with Kurt Southern. So what are your thoughts on facing Kurt Southern again?
It's going to be another tough test. He knows what I bring to the table, so he's going to be more prepared. So it's going to be a lot harder this time around.
Well, it was a tough test the first time, and you passed it, and it'll be a tough test again the second time. But of course, I imagine you'll go into this fight as the favourite after the way that the first fight went. Will you feel added pressure going into the fight, or you just want to be more focused on making sure that you're 100% ready for when it comes to weighing and getting in there for the fight?
Oh, I will be on weight. Believe me, I will be on weight. I will make sure of it. I will be on weight the night before. It was just a miscalculation, so we don't have to worry about the weigh-in. I mean, it was .2. It's not like I wasn't trying. I'm a big 55er. I was trying. Believe me, I wasn't just like, oh, screw it, screw this, screw that. No, I was trying. I was collapsed on the way to the scale. I gave it every last thing I had for every last second I could. We had to stop every few seconds for me to regain my composure on our walk. Then when we got there, it was like, all right, muster up your energy and walk in and look strong.
Well, I certainly.
But yeah, I think I kind of strayed from the question.
Well, I'm glad that you're going to be given another opportunity anyway, because I think you proved that you're worth the other you're worth another opportunity, because it was such a good fight, and of course you did get the win. So congratulations on that, and as I said before, thanks for coming on and having a chat with us.
Hey, my pleasure.
Before we let you go, I just want to give you a chance to do some shout-outs. You want to shout out any friends, family, sponsors, and also let the listeners know about your Facebook.
I want to thank all my Team Quest coaches, Ricardo Feliciano, Poncho, Brian Harper, Daniel Warren, Ian Malong, Dan Henderson, everybody at Team Quest, all our great fighters that we have there. I could go on about our great fighters that we have. But, well, this year is going to be Team Quest year. And you're going to see a lot come out of us. You're going to see Sam doing big things. You're going to see Jesse Taylor doing big things. You're going to see Derek Sabatine win that title.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing your fight in 3.5 months.